Alex, imagine you're alone in a tiny rural convenience store in Japan. It's 3 in the morning, the fluorescent lights are humming, and the silence is so heavy you can almost hear your own heartbeat. That's where Sota Takai found himself.
Honestly, Efka, that setting alone is enough to give me the creeps. There's something uniquely haunting about those 24-hour shops in the middle of nowhere. Like they exist in a bubble outside of time. Soda was just trying to get through his shift, right?
Exactly. It was just a regular midweek night shift. He was probably thinking about what to eat for breakfast or how much longer he had to stock shelves. But then the door chime rings and two high schoolers walk in.
Late night cram school students, I'm guessing? That's pretty common there. But these kids weren't just tired, were they? They seemed different.
They were visibly shaken, Alex. Sota could tell immediately. They headed straight for the ready-made meals, but they weren't talking about their grades or their teachers. They were whispering about a classmate.
Wait, let me guess. This is where the legend starts to bleed into reality. What were they saying about this classmate? Was he missing?
Worse, they said he'd become obsessed with this online puzzle called the Red Room. He hadn't left his bedroom in days. His parents eventually broke the door down and they found a nightmare.
Oh man, I've heard variations of this urban legend before. The room was coated in blood, wasn't it? Like the walls had been painted with it. It's one of those classic J-horror tropes that hits way too close to home.
Exactly that. Every inch of the room was red. Sota is standing there trying to act professional while scanning their items, but his mind is racing. He's trying not to look like he's eavesdropping, but how can you ignore something like that?
It's impossible. You know, that's the thing about curiosity. It's like a virus. Once those kids left, Soda was left in that dead silence again. But now he had that name stuck in his head, the Red Room.
And that's when he makes his first mistake. He calls his friend Ryota. See, Ryota was the tech guy of the group. Back then, the internet was still this mysterious, wild frontier for most people.
Right, we're talking about an era where the web felt a bit more lawless. If anyone could find a hidden, cursed website, it would be someone like Ryota. Did he know about it already?
He didn't, but he was intrigued. He told Sota he'd look into it and call him right back. But Alex, the call never came. Minutes turned into hours. The store stayed empty, and Sota was just waiting.
That's the worst part of any horror story, the waiting. You're trapped in a quiet room, your imagination is running wild, and your only link to the outside world is silent. Why didn't Sota just call him again?
He thought about it, but it was past midnight. He didn't want to wake Ryota up if he'd just fallen asleep at his desk. So he sent a text, no reply. Finally, the boredom and the obsession just took over.
So he went to the back office, didn't he? I can see it now. A flickering monitor, a dusty keyboard, and Soda typing those words into a search engine. Red Room.
He did. At first, he found nothing but boring stuff. Nightclubs, interior design tips, even some old stories. But then he started digging deeper into news archives, and that's when he saw a name, Yuto Atsumi.
Wait, Yuto Atsumi? Was that the classmate the boys were talking about? The one whose parents found him in the Red Room?
The very same. The article was chilling. It described the scene exactly as the boys had. Sota should have closed the browser right then. He should have walked away, but he couldn't. It was like the screen was pulling him in.
It's that classic doom scrolling before we even had a word for it. But then something interrupted him, right? A customer.
The door chime. It sounded like a gunshot in that quiet store. Sota jumped, snapped out of his trance, and went to the counter to sell some cigarettes. But as he's standing there, he hears a voice from the office.
Wait, a voice from the computer? What did it say? Please tell me it wasn't something like, I see you.
It was actually more subtle, which is almost scarier. It whispered, do you like... And then it just cut off, just 3 words. The customer left, and Sota, heart pounding, walked back into that office.
Oh no. Soda buddy, just leave the store. Go for a walk. But no, he goes back. And let me guess, the computer wasn't done talking.
It spoke again. Do you like... and a pop-up window appeared on the screen. He clicked the X to close it, but it just popped right back up. Do you like... Ah!
That is the ultimate internet frustration, but with a deadly twist. It's like a digital haunting. Did the message ever finish itself?
He kept clicking and clicking, getting more frantic. The voice got louder, more distorted. Finally, the window wouldn't close. The text started to split apart, revealing the full question. Do you like the Red Room?
That gives me actual chills. Do you like the Red Room? It's not just a question, it's an invitation, or a trap. What happened to the screen after that?
The pop-up finally vanished, but it revealed a list of names that had been blurred in the background. Sota leaned in, scanning the list. His eyes stopped near the bottom. Yuto Atsumi was there.
Okay, that's terrifying, but expected. But there was another name below Yuto's, wasn't there? Someone he knew?
It was Ryota, his best friend, the guy he'd called just a few hours ago. Ryota's name was right there on the list of victims. Sota completely lost it. He grabbed his phone and tried to call him again.
And let me guess, still no answer. At this point, the reality of the situation is crashing down on him. He's not just looking at a legend, he's looking at his friend's death certificate.
He decided he had to go to Ryota's house immediately. He didn't care about the job or the store. He turned to leave the office, but as he reached for the door, it slammed shut hard.
Wait, it slammed on its own? Like no wind, no mechanical failure, just boom, locked in.
Locked tight, he threw his whole weight against it, screaming for help. But the store was empty. No one was coming. And then the computer behind him spoke one last time. Do you like the Red Room?
This is the climax of the nightmare. He's trapped in a tiny room with a cursed machine that knows his name. What did Sota do? Did he just give up?
He stopped shouting. He just went quiet. He looked at the screen, and then his eyes drifted to a shiny box cutter sitting on the desk. He picked it up and smiled.
He smiled? Efka, that is the most disturbing part of the whole story. Why would he smile at a box cutter? Is he thinking what I think he's thinking?
He said he finally knew how to get out. But in these stories, getting out doesn't mean through the door. It means joining the rest of the names on that list, painting his own room red.
Wow, that's a heavy ending. It's like the website isn't just a virus for the computer. It's a virus for the mind. It compels you to complete the puzzle by becoming part of it.
Exactly. It's the ultimate urban legend because it plays on our curiosity and our fear of the unknown. We think we're the ones looking at the screen, but maybe the screen is the one looking at us.
You know, Efka, this story really taps into that early 2000s anxiety about the internet. Back then, we didn't really know where the boundaries were. A website could feel like a physical place.
Right, like a digital haunted house, and the fact that it's a convenience store worker, someone whose job is to be available and visible, makes his sudden isolation even more jarring.
Actually, it reminds me of how viral content works today, just in a much more literal, horrific way. Something goes viral, and it spreads from person to person, often without them even realizing the harm it's doing.
That's a great point, Alex. The Red Room is basically the original viral horror. It starts with a whisper, then a search, and finally it consumes you. It's like the internet's version of a chain letter, but with a body count.
And the do you like part, it's so innocuous. It's like a simple marketing question or social media prompt. It's designed to make you engage before you realize what you're engaging with.
It's the clickbait of death. Honestly, I think the reason this story sticks with people is because we've all had that moment where we've clicked on something we shouldn't have. That split second of, wait, what is this?
Totally. Most of the time, it's just a weird ad or a jump scare. But in Sota's case, that curiosity was a one-way street. He couldn't unsee those names. He couldn't unhear that voice.
It's also interesting how the story highlights the disconnect between generations. The high schoolers knew the legend, but Sota, who's only a bit older, had to go searching for it. He was caught between two worlds.
And his friend Ryota, the expert, was the first to fall. It's like a warning that even those who think they understand the technology aren't safe from the darker things lurking inside it.
Exactly. Knowledge isn't always power. Sometimes it's just a target. I mean, think about Sota sitting there in that office. He thought he was investigating, but he was actually being hunted.
It really makes you want to double check your browser tabs and maybe put a piece of tape over your webcam, doesn't it? Just in case the Red Room decides to pay a visit.
I was thinking the same thing, but let's talk about that box cutter for a second. That's such a specific, grounded detail. It takes this supernatural internet ghost story and makes it very physical.
It brings the horror into the room with him. It's not just a ghost in the machine anymore. It's a tool in his hand. That's what makes it a tale, rather than just a creepy pasta.
It's that finality, right? The idea that the only way to satisfy the Red Room is to provide the red yourself. It's a dark reflection of our own obsession with content and consumption.
Ugh, that's a grim way to put it, Efka, but you're totally right. We consume the story, and the story consumes Soda. It's a perfect, terrifying cycle.
So next time you're working a late shift or just browsing the web late at night and a weird pop-up appears, maybe just turn off the computer. Don't try to close the window.
And definitely don't ask it what it wants. Honestly, I'm going to be thinking about that. Do you like Whisper for the rest of the night? Thanks for that, Efka.
Hey, I don't want to be the only one looking over my shoulder, but seriously, there's something about these Japanese urban legends that just gets under your skin. They're so atmospheric.
They really are. They take everyday objects, a computer, a store, a box cutter, and twist them into something unrecognizable. It's a masterclass in psychological horror.
Well, I think we've definitely painted a vivid picture of the Red Room today. Hopefully, none of our listeners find their names on any mysterious list tonight.
Let's hope not. If they do, I'm not answering my phone. Sorry, Efka, but I've learned my lesson from Ryota. If you call me about a cursed website, I'm going straight to voicemail.
Fair enough. I think that's a very wise policy. Actually, I might just unplug my router after we finish recording this, just to be safe.
Good call. Better safe than red. That's a wrap on this one, I think. My heart rate needs a minute to settle down.
Same here. It's amazing how a story about a quiet night shift can turn into something so intense. But that's the power of these tales. They turn the mundane into the monstrous.
Exactly. It's been a wild ride, Alex. I'm definitely going to be looking at convenience stores a little differently from now on.
Me too, Efka. Me too. Just remember, if the door slams shut and the computer starts talking, it's already too late.
Wait, did you hear that? I think my laptop just made a weird clicking sound. No, wait, it's just the heater, I think.
You're getting paranoid, Alex. But then again, in a world where the Red Room exists, maybe a little paranoia is exactly what we need to stay safe.
I'll take paranoia over a box cutter any day. Let's get out of here before we start seeing pop-ups in real life.
Agreed. Thanks for diving into the darkness with me today, Alex. It's been enlightening, to say the least.
Anytime, Efka. Just maybe next time we can talk about something a little more cheerful, like puppies or sunshine.
We'll see. But for now, stay safe out there, everyone, and watch what you click.